Hello, my name is Jarm and this is my 2023 planner. My goals for today are to film a video, which by the way is the one that you're watching right now, teach one of my Japanese students, and make a poster for a client from Behance. It has become my routine to get my planner first thing because I need structure. Without it, I would struggle to get things done. When I bought this notebook, the first page was blank, so I filled it out with what many of you would call positive affirmations, and honestly, I believe in it. Being delusional is working for me. Next on my routine, what we have here is a scratch notebook. It's an old planner from 2016 that we got from a bank for free, so I don't really mind putting some chaotic doodles on the pages. The more mistakes that I do, the more lessons that I learn. The way I do my art exercise is by cross-hatching with 3 different colors with different medium every day. Today I chose Stabilo pens and tomorrow it could be a mechanical pencil. You get the gist of it. The purpose of this is to train my muscles and incrementally improve how I sketch. I've been doing this for just 3 days and honestly, the repetitive lines and movements feel therapeutic. Maybe tomorrow I will use my left hand to cross-hatch. I want both my hands to feel balanced when it comes to muscle strength, not my left hand getting left behind. No pun intended. Anyway, whenever I do this, I listen to an audiobook timed to stop within 5 minutes, so it's just really a small portion of my morning, but I want to show it because it is impactful to me as an artist. One terrible news that I read online could ruin my mood. I would think about how horrible people can be and then I would spiral with dark thoughts. It had already happened numerous times from the past and it made me angry. I keep the anger in the basement of my mind because I can count on my rage if I need it. But there are also moments that my body craves to be delicate without worrying if anyone would take advantage of it. I don't want to be strong sometimes. I want to stay connected with the present moment and not be on high alert all the time. I gotta be honest, it's so hard doing that. So I practice it by walking my dogs and looking at the sky and hearing the crunch of my footsteps on the rocky pavement and smelling the farm air. I find a sense of calm in these things. It's a miracle, really. I feel like when you enter my brain, there is not much of a relaxing thought in there, so I take a moment to savor these sensations and daydream of a life that I want to have. It doesn't solve my depression, but I usually go back home with a fulfilled imagination. And for now, that's enough. I got hungry after that hour-long walk, so I have to eat my breakfast. It's a staple meal for me. I never skip it. Besides, I love rice. I love rice so much that I probably have to monitor my sugar level like from now on. Here's a matcha tea because I'm a matcha lover forever. Now let's get on to my tutoring job. Today I'm going to be talking to one of my students. I cannot tell you anything about them except that they're still in school. I was able to work with a student because my friend referred me to replace her because she was about to go full-time on her corporate job. It was the start of the pandemic at that time, so I took the opportunity to earn some extra cash. I had 0 experience in teaching, but my friend trusted me for the role because she knew that I'm good in English and I also believed that I could do it. Before I officially started teaching, my friend introduced me to the student. We had an informal Zoom call to get to know each other a little bit, the materials to be used, and ultimately my salary. It's not my first job and also not my first side hustle, but it is my first teaching experience that almost 3 years later, I am still putting into good use. In 2021, I was able to land another tutoring job, but that's a story to tell in another video. I can write a whole novella about the career paths I have taken, but in the meantime, my first work for today is this. We usually do our class around the evening, but since it's summer break for them, our schedule is in the mornings. While it's true that I'm the tutor, I'm also learning a lot from my student. Since we've been working together for almost 3 years, I get to take a glimpse of the Japanese culture, specifically the school lives of their students. Other times, we would just have casual conversations to improve their natural speech, and in return, I'm able to practice my communication skills. It's like getting paid by talking to a friend. The compensation is fair, but of course, it cannot sustain my lifestyle alone. It can definitely buy me grilled cheese and matcha every week though. I had a little free time in my hands, so I went to Upwork and browsed for a few minutes to search for a potential one-time project. I did find one that pays really well. Unfortunately, I wasn't hired by the client. But that's okay, usually these rejections work out in the end for me. I'll just try again next time. My current social life is not looking good, but at least I have board games to play. Okay, that doesn't sound fully comforting, but to be fair, I'm really not a people person. Unless you're a woman-loving woman with a history of mental illness, trauma, and deep love for fictional characters, then maybe we can have genuine connection. In all seriousness, I'd rather have my Shih Tzus to be my BFFs than to end up with a toxic friend group. I know that building meaningful friendships takes time and effort. They don't develop overnight, so I'm not discouraged if it takes time to find my kindred spirits. Although it would totally be nice if they just magically appear in my life. I was hesitant to include this part because it seems unremarkable, but life is filled with countless tasks that often go unnoticed or unappreciated. When I engage in a task with full presence and awareness, I begin to notice the intricate details and subtle nuances that may have escaped my attention before. While doing this bed, I paid attention to the feeling of the soft cotton and the sound of the fabric. By bringing my attention to these little details, I transformed a seemingly monotonous task into a mindful experience. Furthermore, it often allows my mind to wander and drift, freeing myself from the constraints of my overwhelming responsibilities. For example, while I was folding the sheet, I did stumble upon a creative solution to a problem that I was stressing about for almost 2 weeks now. So the takeaway is, let's slow down, take a deep breath, and appreciate the seemingly ordinary moments of our lives. I was not vibing with my YouTube profile, so I removed some of the details that I found too all over the place. I also tweaked features to simplify the overall look. I was aiming for something cartoonish or a character that you see on a comic, which sorta looks like me and sorta doesn't. Also, we're at 500 subscribers. Thank you so much for supporting this small channel. Here's a cake for you. We are now in the juiciest portion of this video, my main source of income, the one that pays the bill. I love this job so much. When I say that graphic design is my passion, I mean it. I gave my blood, sweat, and tears for every project that I put out there. And I believe people saw that, so eventually I built a brand for myself that I can rely on whenever I want to work with someone. It all started last year. I was jobless at that time when I developed this habit of designing anything every afternoon. I was on Pinterest, obsessing over these Y2K magazine edits, and I was like, I could do this too. I went to Canva, searched for a promo code that would give me 30 days of free premium plan. Let me tell you, your girl made the most out of the free plan, and the rest is history. My TikTok gained more than 18,000 followers, which was crazy. Like, what? It kickstarted my design career, but I'm currently inactive there with my busy schedule, and mostly because I've been flopping ever since I transitioned to an art account. I'm honestly considering going back to my Canva gigs. Anyway, I digress. Right now, I have clients who see the value of my work, and I can really feel that not only with how much they pay me, but also with their feedbacks. You see, I have been starved of academic validation. All I got from my accounting professors were humiliation and low self-esteem. All things considered, that is my origin villain story. So to hear someone praise me just because I nailed the color palette department, the redemption I need. I have no fixed time to when I should be doing a project. There were days that it took me only 30 minutes to submit a deliverable, but there were also times where it would take me 4 hours a day for a whole week. So it ranges from one Avatar episode to a whole season of Arcane. The important thing is I don't grind to the point of exhaustion. Plus, I get to choose when and where I work, what I wear, whether I'm listening to music or a podcast. This is definitely a huge stepping stone for my art career. I'm able to buy myself materials for both digital and physical art without starving. Being a graphic designer affords me time to start a YouTube channel dedicated to art, and I could not be more thrilled. I started this manga a few days ago, and I was determined to finish it within a day. Mangas and graphic novels are fun to read and especially helpful if you're going through a slump and you really want to start reading again. This book is centered around art. I was trying to get some motivation from the character's journey. He's a high school student and he's only discovering that he likes painting, which may impact his career decisions. It made me reminisce about my high school self. Back then, pursuing a creative career was out of the question because I was told that it was impractical. It didn't occur to me then that not choosing art would do so much more damage to my soul. Here you see me editing a screen record of my Procreate digital art process. It's a cutesy portraits of Pinterest girlies. I don't enjoy editing screen records though. It probably translated to my audience that I did not have a good time making it. As a result, these videos are flopping so bad. But I'm not worried because, as my favorite philosopher said, after the hardest flop comes the biggest lay. I watched Gilmore Girls solely because people were saying that Taylor Swift talks like Lorelai Gilmore, and it is true. I just watched to be baffled by the resemblance. I used to doom scroll on TikTok after I was done with work. Initially, it provided entertainment but was super unhealthy in the long run. To avoid doing that, I put my phone very far away from me and I would pick up a book. For years, books have provided me the perfect escape from reality. I cultivated a lifelong love for stories, so naturally, reading serves as a powerful form of influence on me. It's fascinating, really. To a certain extent, my personality is a combination of the fictional characters that I have read and watched. Upon finishing this manga, I rate this book 3 out of 5 stars because the plot only picked up its pace around the last few pages, but I was left inspired and motivated to study anatomy. It's important for me to end the day by spilling my thoughts and emotions on my diary. Nighttime is really not my favorite, that's why I have less clips for this portion of the day. Darker thoughts occasionally visit me before I sleep, and one way I combat my fears is through writing. It can be difficult to make sense of my emotions. However, writing on my diary allows me to find patterns in how I think. I unconsciously self-sabotage when I force things to seem okay, when deep down I'm alarmingly unwell. If I confess the ugly things to my notebook, this release brings clarity to the chaos up there. It's incredibly liberating. I get a deeper understanding of myself. This piece of notebook is a treasure trove of memories and experiences. It captures my authentic self at different phases of my life. Looking back at my past entries reminds me of how far I've come. It's a reminder of my growth journey. I want this series in my channel to give me that same kind of benefit, to create a tangible record of my thoughts and experiences as a creative person.